I'm a Canadian veteran, a man who stared death in the face in Bosnia, who carried the weight of war for this country, only to be spat on by my own flesh and blood. My son's voice still echoes in my skull. Pay the rent or get the hell out. Each word a knife, slicing through decades of sacrifice. My daughter-in-law stood there, her cold eyes gleaming, demanding thousands for a corner of a house I bled for, as if my life's work was trash. They mocked me, a broken old soldier, threatening to toss me onto Kingston streets like garbage. The pain? It's a fire in my chest, burning hotter than any battlefield. Betrayed, humiliated, discarded by my own son, there's no wound deeper. But they didn't know my secret, a truth buried for 20 years. And 1 week later, I sold that house and their world shattered. Stay with me. You need to hear this. You won't believe what happens next. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from, whether it's somewhere beautiful in Canada or anywhere else in this amazing world. Every morning at 5:30, I drag myself out of bed in a cramped room on the ground floor of a grand old house in Kingston, Ontario, just a stone's throw from the St. Lawrence River. The cold seeps through the walls, chilling my bones' war wounds from Bosnia that never quite healed. I'm a retired sergeant, a Canadian veteran who served in the 92nd, dodging bullets to keep peace in a world gone mad. Now, I'm reduced to a tenant in my own home, a secret I've guarded for 20 years. This house, bought with $2 million from a lottery win in 2003, is mine. But my son, Liam, and his wife, Sophie, think they're the landlords, squeezing me for $2,500 a month to live in a room barely bigger than a closet. I shuffle to the kitchen where Liam's already barking orders. "You're late again," he snaps, not looking up from his coffee. Sophie's there, tallying bills on her tablet, her eyes narrowing at me like I'm a line item gone wrong. "Utilities are up," she says coldly. "Your share's $500 now." 500. For a man who uses one light bulb and a kettle, my pension's stretched thin, but they don't know about the $1.5 million sitting in my account. I've kept it hidden since Maggie, my wife, passed 10 years ago from cancer. She warned me about Liam's greed, how he'd beg for money but never visit her hospital bed. "Don't let him break you," she'd whispered. Emma, my granddaughter, is the only light in this house. A student at Queen's University, she pops in, her smile warm. "Morning, Grandpa," she says, kissing my cheek. "Ignore them. You're worth more than their bank account." Her words sting, reminding me of the lie I live, pretending to be a broke old man while my own family bleeds me dry. The Kingston morning is gray, the kind of damp chill that creeps into my joints, a cruel reminder of shrapnel scars from Bosnia. I'm in the kitchen of this grand old house by the St. Lawrence, a house I bought with $2 million from a lottery win in 2003, a secret I've buried deep. My son, Liam Walsh, thinks he's the king of this castle, demanding $2,500 a month from me, a retired Canadian Forces sergeant, for a room no bigger than a broom closet. Today, the air feels heavier, like a storm's brewing. Liam's at the table, his jaw tight, scrolling through his phone. Sophie, his wife, is beside him, her calculator clicking like a machine gun. "Utilities spiked again," she says, not looking at me. "Your share's $600 now, plus the $2,500 for rent. Pay up by Friday, or we're done." "600? I choke out, gripping my coffee mug. "I barely use the lights, Sophie. The kettle's on maybe twice a day. My pension's stretched to the breaking point, but they don't know about the $1.5 million sitting in my bank account, untouched since Maggie, my wife, died 10 years ago." Liam slams his phone down, his eyes blazing. "Don't play the poor veteran card," he snaps. You live here, eat our food, use our heat. You think that's free? Pay the rent or get out." His words hit like a punch, echoing in my skull. I'm 75, a man who carried Canada's flag through war zones, now reduced to a beggar in my own home. Sophie leans forward, her voice icy. "We're not a charity, you know. Liam's store is bleeding cash, and I'm juggling bills to keep this roof over your head." Her words drip with disdain, as if I'm a leech, not the father who raised Liam, who worked overtime to pay for his hockey gear, his first car. I want to scream that this house is mine, that I could kick them out with a snap of my fingers, but I bite my tongue. The secret's a weight I've carried too long, a shield against their greed. Maggie warned me about this, her voice haunts me. "Liam's heart is cold, Henry. Don't let him bleed you dry." I try to reason. "Look, I'm on a fixed pension. 600's too much. Can we talk about this?" Liam laughs, a bitter, mocking sound. "Talk? You're lucky we let you stay here. Most old folks are in a home by now, but we're stuck with you. Stuck with me, my own son." The words burn, worse than any wound I took in the service. I glance at the photo of Maggie on the fridge, her smile frozen in time. She'd be ashamed of what Liam's become, of how he treats the man who held her hand through chemo, who buried her when Liam barely showed up. Emma, my granddaughter, walks in, her backpack slung over one shoulder. She's 20, studying at Queen's University, the only one in this house who sees me as more than a bank account. "Grandpa, you okay?" she asks, her eyes flicking between Liam's scowl and Sophie's calculator. "They're raising his rent again," she says, her voice sharp. "Mom, Dad, this isn't fair. He's family, not a tenant." Liam rolls his eyes. "Stay out of this, Emma. You don't pay the bills." Sophie chimes in. "She's right, Emma. Your grandpa needs to contribute, or he can find somewhere else to live." Emma's face reddens. "You're unbelievable," she snaps. "Grandpa fought for this country, and you treat him like he's nothing." She storms out, slamming the door. I want to call after her, to tell her I'm okay, but I'm not. The kitchen feels like a battlefield, and I'm losing ground. I think of Maggie again, her last days in the hospital, when Liam called once not to check on her, but to ask for a loan for his failing store. "We raised a selfish boy," she'd whispered, tears in her eyes. I didn't believe her then, thought she was too hard on him. Now, I see she was right. I stand, my knees creaking, and head back to my room. Liam's voice follows me. "Friday, old man. Don't make me say it again." In the quiet of my room, I sit by the window, staring at the St. Lawrence River glimmering under the morning mist. This house, this beautiful 3-story home, was supposed to be my legacy, a gift for my family. Instead, it's a prison, and my own son is the jailer. The anger boils inside me, but it's the pain that cuts deeper, the pain of knowing the boy I raised has no respect, no love, only greed. I clutch the dog tags I still keep from my service days, the metal cold against my palm. I survived war, but surviving this betrayal? That's a fight I'm not sure I can win. The Kingston night is heavy, the kind of darkness that presses against my chest, squeezing out every ounce of hope. I'm alone in my tiny room, a 5-year-old Canadian veteran, surrounded by the ghosts of a life I thought I'd built. The St. Lawrence River murmurs outside, but it can't drown out the echo of Liam's words. "Pay the rent or get out." My son's voice, sharp as shrapnel, cuts deeper than any wound I took in Bosnia. I sit on the edge of my bed, the springs creaking under my weight, and pull out an old wooden box from under the mattress. It's a relic of better days, my medals from the forces. A faded photo of Maggie and me on our wedding day in 2071, her smile brighter than the summer sun over Lake Ontario. And there, tucked in the corner, is her last letter, written in a shaky hand as cancer stole her away. I unfold the paper, the ink smudged from years of my fingers tracing her words. "Henry," she wrote, "live true to yourself. Don't let our boy break your heart." My eyes burn, tears spilling as I whisper. "I tried, Maggie. I tried so hard. But Liam's greed, Sophie's cold calculations, they've ground me down. I'm not just a father anymore. I'm a burden, a check to be cashed." I clutch the letter, my hands trembling, and turn on the old radio beside my bed. The static crackles. Then "O Canada" spills out, slow and mournful. It's the anthem I saluted in the Balkans, the one that filled me with pride. Now, it's a dirge for the family I've lost. I choke out a sob, the pain so raw it feels like my heart's being ripped apart. I stumble to the window, staring at the river's black expanse. Maggie loved this view. We'd sit on the porch of this very house, my house, bought with $2 million from a lottery win I never told anyone about, and watch the boats drift by, dreaming of a future with our kids. But Liam and Sophie turned that dream into a nightmare. They charged me $2,500 a month to live in a room I own, plus $600 more for utilities I barely use. My pension's a pittance, but they don't know about the $1.5 million sitting in my account, a secret I kept to protect it from their grasping hands. Maggie saw it coming. "Liam's heart is ice," she'd said, her voice breaking as she lay in that hospital bed, ignored by the son we raised. The door creaks open, and Emma slips in, her face pale in the dim light. She's 20, my granddaughter, the only one in this house who sees me as more than a bank account. "Grandpa, you're crying," she says, her voice soft but urgent. She kneels beside me, her hand on mine. "What's wrong?" I hold up Maggie's letter, my voice cracking. "Your grandma told me to stay strong, Emma, but I'm failing her. Your dad, he wants me gone, says I'm a burden." Emma's eyes flash with anger. "He's wrong. You're a hero, Grandpa. You fought for Canada, for us. They don't deserve you." I shake my head, the weight of it all crushing me. "I survived war, kid. Bullets, bombs, nights in the mud. But this betrayal, it's killing me." Emma's grip tightens. "You don't have to stay here. You're stronger than they think." Her words spark something, a flicker of the old fire I carried in the forces. But it's drowned by the memory of Liam's sneer, Sophie's icy stare. I look at Maggie's photo, her eyes so full of love, and the pain surges again. "I built this house for them," I whisper, "and they've turned it into a prison." Emma sits beside me, her voice fierce. "Then break free, Grandpa. You don't owe them anything." I want to believe her, but the thought of losing what's left of my family tears at me. I clutch my dog tags, the cold metal grounding me. "I don't know if I can," I admit. "Your grandma, she'd want me to forgive them." Emma shakes her head. "Grandma would want you to be happy, not this." She points to the letter, to the medals. "You're Henry Walsh, a soldier. Don't let them take that from you." I look out at the river again, the darkness swallowing the light. The pain is unbearable, a wound that no metal can heal. I'm a man who faced death for his country, yet here I am, broken by my own son's greed. But Emma's words linger, a lifeline in the storm. Maybe she's right. Maybe it's time to fight one last battle, not for Canada, but for myself. The Kingston dawn breaks cold, the St. Lawrence River glinting like steel under a pale sun. I'm sitting in my cramped room, the weight of last night's tears still heavy in my chest. Maggie's letter lies open on my lap, her words, "Live true to yourself," burning like a flare in the dark. My son, Liam Walsh, and his wife, Sophie, have turned my home, bought with $2 million of lottery money I've hidden since 2003 into a battleground. They demand $2,500 a month for this tiny space, plus $600 more for utilities I barely touch, treating me like a squatter instead of the father who raised them. Emma's voice echoes in my mind. "You're a soldier, Grandpa. Don't let them take that from you." Her words spark a fire, but it's the pain of Liam's betrayal, his sneering, "Pay or get out," that fuels it. I'm walking along Princess Street, the heart of Kingston, when I spot Nathan Brooks outside a Tim Hortons, his old army jacket faded but proud. Nathan, a fellow veteran who served with me in Bosnia, now sells real estate, his face weathered but kind. "Henry Walsh," he calls, waving me over. "You look like you've seen a ghost, mate." I force a smile, sitting across from him with a double-double in hand. "Just family troubles," I mutter. Nathan leans in, his eyes sharp. "Liam again? What's he done now?" I hesitate, the secret I've kept for 2 decades clawing at my throat. But Nathan's a brother in arms. He's seen me at my worst. "The house I live in," I say, voice low. "It's mine. Bought it with a lottery win. $2 million. Liam and Sophie think they're my landlords, charging me rent." Nathan's jaw drops, coffee forgotten. "You're kidding. You own that big place on the river and let them bleed you dry?" I nod, the shame mixing with rage. "I kept it quiet to protect the money. Maggie warned me Liam's greedy, always was. Now he's demanding more, threatening to kick me out." Nathan shakes his head, his voice hard. "That's no way to treat a veteran, let alone your own dad. Henry, the market's hot right now. That house? It's worth at least $1.2 million. Sell it. Take back your life." His words hit like a grenade, blasting through the fog of my pain. Sell the house. The idea feels like treason, but also like salvation. Back home, Liam's waiting in the kitchen, his arms crossed, face twisted in a scowl. "Where were you?" he demands. "Out spending money we don't have?" Sophie's beside him, her tablet glowing with spreadsheets. "We need that rent by tomorrow, or you're out," she says, her tone sharp as a bayonet. I clench my fists, Maggie's letter flashing in my mind. "I'm doing my best, Liam," I say, voice tight. "My pension's not a bottomless pit." He laughs, cold and cruel. "Your best isn't good enough. You're living in our house, eating our food. Step up or pack your bags." Our house. The lie stings, but it's his arrogance that snaps something inside me. I've faced death in war, lost Maggie to cancer, and now my own son treats me like dirt. No more. I step outside, the river air cold against my face, and pull out my phone. "Nathan," I say when he picks up, my voice steady for the first time in weeks. "I'm done. I want to sell the house. Fast. And keep it quiet. Liam and Sophie can't know it's me." Nathan's voice crackles with approval. "You got it, brother. I'll list it through a trust. Keep your name out of it. We'll get top dollar, and you'll be free." Free. The word feels foreign, like a medal I don't deserve. But as I hang up, I glance at the house, my house, and see Maggie's face in my mind, her eyes urging me forward. "I'm doing this for us," I whisper to her memory. "No more lies, no more chains." The decision is made, and for the first time in years, I feel like the soldier I once was, ready to fight for my own life. The Kingston air is thick with tension, the kind that chokes you worse than the smoke of a Bosnian battlefield. It's been 2 days since I told Nathan Brooks to sell my house, the house I bought with $2 million of lottery money in 2003, a secret I've hidden from my son, Liam Walsh, and his wife, Sophie, who think they're my landlords. I'm in my room, a 75-year-old Canadian veteran, my hands still shaking from the decision to take back my life. The St. Lawrence River glints outside, mocking me with its calm while a storm brews inside this house. Liam's been watching me like a hawk, his greed sharper than ever. I'm packing my medals and Maggie's photo when he bursts in, holding my phone, his face twisted with fury. "What the hell is this, old man?" Liam snarls, waving the phone. I forgot to lock it, and a text from Nathan flashes on the screen. "House listing ready. 1.2 million target. Trust set up." My heart stops. "You're selling our house behind our backs?" he shouts, his voice booming through the walls. Sophie storms in, her eyes blazing. "You're conspiring with some shady realtor to screw us over?" I stand tall, my soldier's spine stiff despite the ache in my bones. "It's not your house," I say, voice low but steady. "It's mine." Liam laughs, a vicious sound. "Yours? You're a broke pensioner sponging off us. You think you can play games with my family's home?" I clench my fists. Maggie's words, "Live true to yourself," ringing in my ears. "I've paid you $2,500 a month for a room I own, Liam, plus $600 for utilities I don't use, and you call me the sponge?" Sophie steps forward, her voice venomous. "You ungrateful leech. We've housed you, fed you, and this is how you repay us? By selling our home out from under us?" The audacity burns. I'm a man who carried Canada's flag through war, who buried his wife while his son begged for cash. And now they accuse me of betrayal? Liam's face turns red. "You're delusional if you think you can pull this off. I'll drag you to court." Then he leans in, his voice dropping to a chilling whisper. "Or better yet, I'll call the nursing home. They've got a bed waiting for old relics like you. You'll be out of our hair for good." Sophie nods, her smile cruel. "It's for your own safety. You're too old to live alone." The threat hits like a mortar shell. My worst fear laid bare. A nursing home locked away, forgotten. My freedom stripped. My chest tightens, the pain of their betrayal sharper than any wound from Bosnia. I'm not just their father. I'm a problem to be solved, a check to be cashed or discarded. Emma bursts into the room, her eyes wide with shock. "Dad! Mom! Stop it!" she yells, her voice trembling. "You can't threaten Grandpa like that. He's not some burden you can just ship off." Liam turns on her. "Stay out of this, Emma. You don't know what it takes to keep this family afloat." Emma's fists ball up, her face fierce. "I know you're bullying a veteran who gave everything for us. You're disgusting." Sophie snaps. "Enough, Emma. Go to your room." But Emma stands her ground, looking at me with fire in her eyes. "Grandpa, don't let them do this to you." I take a deep breath, my soldier's resolve kicking in. "You want me gone, Liam?" I say, my voice cutting through the room. "Fine. But you'll regret pushing me this far. I've faced worse than you in war, and I'm not afraid of this fight." I grab my phone and step past them, my heart pounding but my mind clear. Outside, I dial Nathan. "It's Henry," I say, my voice hard as steel. "Sell the house. Now. I don't care how fast, just make it happen. And don't let Liam or Sophie know it's me." Nathan's voice is steady. "Done, brother. I'll list it tomorrow. You're taking your life back." I hang up, the river's cold wind biting my face. Maggie's face flashes in my mind, her gentle smile urging me on. I've spent years hiding my truth, letting my son and his wife grind me down. No more. They've pushed me to the edge, threatening to cage me like an animal. But I'm Henry Walsh, a soldier who survived hell. This is my stand, my final battle for freedom, for dignity, for the life Maggie wanted me to live. The Kingston afternoon is crisp, the St. Lawrence River shimmering under a weak November sun. But inside my house, not theirs, the air crackles with a tension sharper than a winter storm. I'm Henry Walsh, a 75-year-old Canadian veteran, and I've just set in motion the end of a 20-year lie. This grand 3-story home, bought with $2 million from a lottery win in 2003, is mine, a secret I've kept from my son, Liam Walsh, and his wife, Sophie, who've bled me dry with $2,500 a month in rent and $600 more for utilities I barely use. Their latest threat to ship me to a nursing home lit a fuse in me, and now, with Nathan Brooks, my old army buddy turned realtor, I've listed the house for sale. Today, the truth comes out, and it's going to burn. Nathan calls me at noon, his voice buzzing with excitement. "Henry, we've got a deal. $1.25 million cash from a couple moving from Toronto. They love the river view. I'm sending the eviction notice to Liam and Sophie 30 days to vacate after closing." My heart races, a mix of dread and triumph. "Make it quick," I tell him. "And Nathan, don't let them know I'm the owner." "Not yet," he chuckles. "You got it, brother. I'll be there at 3. I hang up, my hands steady despite the storm in my chest. Maggie's voice echoes in my mind. "Live true to yourself," and I know she'd hate this moment, but she'd understand. She saw Liam's greed, how he ignored her in the hospital, chasing money instead of memories. At 3 sharp, Nathan's car pulls into the driveway. I'm in my room, packing my medals and Maggie's photo, when I hear the doorbell. Liam's voice booms through the house. "Who the hell are you?" Nathan's calm, professional tone cuts through. "Nathan Brooks, Slidell Realty. I'm here about the house. It's been sold. You have 30 days to move out after the deal closes." Sophie's shriek pierces the air. "Sold? That's impossible. We've paid rent on time. Who's the owner?" I step out, my dog tags clinking softly against my chest, and face them in the living room. Liam's face is red, Sophie's eyes wide with panic. Emma's there too, her gaze flicking to me, sensing something big. "There's no mistake," I say, my voice hard as the steel I carried in Bosnia. "The house is sold. $1.25 million, and I'm the one who sold it." The room goes deathly quiet, like the calm before a bomb. Liam's jaw drops. You're lying. You're a broke old man living off my charity." Sophie clutches her tablet, stammering, "This is our home. You can't do this." I step closer, my eyes locked on Liam's. "Your home? I bought this house in 2003 with lottery money. $2 million. I've owned it all along. You've been charging me rent $2,500 a month to live in my own damn house." Sophie gasps, her hand flying to her mouth. Liam's face twists into a snarl. "You lying bastard! You hid this from us? Your own family?" His voice cracks, but there's no remorse, only rage. "You let us think we were saving you and now you're kicking us out?" I laugh, a bitter, broken sound. "Kicking you out? Like you threatened to kick me out? Like you wanted to lock me in a nursing home? I'm just doing what you told me, Liam. Pay the rent or get out." "Well, I paid, and now I'm done." Emma steps forward, her eyes shining with pride. "Grandpa, you're incredible. They don't deserve you." Sophie rounds on her. "Stay out of this, Emma. He's destroying our lives." Emma shakes her head. "No, Mom, you destroyed his. He's a veteran, a hero, and you treated him like garbage." Liam lunges toward me, but Nathan steps in, his voice firm. "Back off, Liam. The deal's done. You've got 30 days. Find a new place." Liam's fists clench, but he stops, his anger deflating into shock. Sophie collapses onto the couch, sobbing. "How could you do this to us?" she wails. "We're your family." "Family?" I spit, the word tasting like ash. "You stopped being family when you made me a tenant in my own home, when you counted every penny I cost you, when you threatened to cage me like an animal. I fought for this country, for you, And this is how you repay me." I turn to Nathan. "Send the papers. I'm done here." As I walk out, Maggie's face flashes in my mind, her smile bittersweet. This isn't revenge, it's justice. For her, for me, for the man I used to be. The Kingston dusk fades into a soft purple haze, but I'm no longer in that grand, suffocating house by the St. Lawrence River. I'm Henry Walsh, a 75-year-old Canadian veteran, and I've just ripped away the chains of a 20-year lie. The house I bought with $2 million from a 2003 lottery win my house, not Liam and Sophie's, was sold for $1.25 million, and the truth I revealed to my son and his wife still burns in my chest. Their shocked faces, Liam's rage, Sophie's tears, and Emma's proud nod linger like battle scars. But now, standing on the porch of my new home in Gananoque, Ontario, a quaint one-story bungalow overlooking the Thousand Islands, I feel something I haven't in years. Freedom. The air here is crisp, scented with pine, and for the first time, I'm not a tenant in my own life. I paid $600,000 for this place, a fraction of the sale, leaving me with enough to live comfortably, something I never dared dream of, while Liam and Sophie bled me dry with $500 a month in rent and $600 more for utilities I barely used. The bungalow is modest but mine. Wide doorways for my aching joints, a cozy living room with a view of the lake, and a garden I tend myself. I've traded their cold calculations for peace, their threats of a nursing home for a life I control. I sit in a new leather armchair, listening to Gordon Lightfoot's Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald on a sleek stereo I bought without guilt. Maggie's photo sits on a polished oak table, her smile no longer a reproach but a quiet approval. I've joined a veterans club in Gananoque, a group of old soldiers who meet at the local Legion Hall. Last week, I hosted them here, the house filled with laughter and stories of battles fought and won. One of them, a grizzled ex-paratrooper named Tom, clapped my shoulder. "You've got a good setup, Henry. Looks like you're finally living for you." I nodded, the weight of years lifting. "Took me long enough," I said, and we toasted with Molson Canadian, the clink of bottles echoing like a victory. For the first time since Bosnia, I feel like I belong not as a burden, but as a man with a story worth telling. Emma visits today, her beat-up Honda pulling into the driveway. She's 20, a Queen's University student, and the only one who stood by me through the storm. "Grandpa, this place is amazing," she exclaims, stepping onto the porch, her eyes wide at the lake view. "Way better than that stuffy old house," I chuckle, pouring her a mug of Tim Hortons coffee. "It's home, kid. No one's counting my electricity here." She sits across from me, her face softening. "I'm still mad at Mom and Dad. They're in a new apartment in Kingston, but it's not the same. Mom's whining about downsizing, and Dad's stressing over rent. They fight all the time." I sigh, the pain of Liam's betrayal still sharp. "They made their choices, Emma. I gave them everything, and they gave me ultimatums." She nods, her voice quiet. "I know. Mom called you a traitor, but I told her she's the one who betrayed you. You're a hero, Grandpa." Her words hit hard, a balm for wounds I thought would never heal. I reach into my pocket and pull out a letter from my lawyer. "There's something for you," I say, sliding it across the table. "I set up a trust, $200,000 for your education, your future. It's yours when you graduate. Don't tell your parents." Emma's eyes fill with tears. "Grandpa, I can't," she starts, but I cut her off. "You can. You're the only one who saw me as more than a bank account. Maggie would have wanted this." She hugs me, her arms tight like they were when she was a kid. "I love you," she whispers. "Always will." As she leaves, I watch her car disappear down the road, the lake sparkling behind her. I'm free, but the cost was high. Liam and Sophie may never speak to me again, but with Emma by my side, I've got enough family to keep going. Maggie's watching, I know, and for once, I think she's proud. I'm Henry Walsh, sitting on the veranda of my new bungalow in Gananoque, Ontario, watching the Thousand Islands shimmer under a spring sunrise. The pain of my son Liam's betrayal, his cruel demand to pay the rent or get out from a house I owned with $2 million from a 2003 lottery win, still lingers like a scar from Bosnia. Sophie's cold calculations, demanding $600 for utilities I barely used, and their threat to shove me into a nursing home cut deeper than any war wound. But revealing the truth, selling that Kingston house for $1.25 million and walking away was my liberation. Maggie, my late wife, taught me to live true, and though it cost me my son and his wife, I've found peace. Emma, my granddaughter, remains my anchor. Her visit's a reminder that family isn't always blood, it's those who see your worth. This journey taught me lessons I wish I'd learned sooner. First, honor your own value. As a veteran, I fought for Canada, and no one, not even family, should make you feel like a burden. Stand tall, like we did on the battlefield. Second, protect your peace. Living a lie to appease others, as I did for 20 years, only breeds pain. Free yourself, even if it means hard choices. Finally, build your own community. My Veterans Club in Gananoque, filled with brothers like Nathan Brooks, gave me a home when blood ties failed. Maggie's voice still guides me. Live true, Henry. I'm trying, love. If my story hit you, please like and comment below. Share a moment when you had to fight for your truth. Subscribe to Maple Revenge for more stories of grit and heart. Your support means the world to an old soldier finding his way.